It's been 15 years since The Dark Knight hit theaters, widely regarded as one of the best superhero movies of all time. A movie that has stood the test of time, cementing Christopher Nolan as one of the best directors of all time. And the story about this movie's making is crazy, so sit back, relax, and enjoy. And pay your damn actors and writers. After the massive success of Batman Begins, a sequel was in high demand. And this actually intrigued Christopher Nolan on two fronts. One, the fact that he never made a sequel up to this point. The second factor being that Batman Begins writer David S. Goyer had a treatment ready for a Batman movie with Joker as the villain. That intrigued Nolan. After finalizing the script, Christian Bale returned as Bruce Wayne Batman, this time in a much more flexible costume, and might I say just a tough one. And also, a voice that sounds like this! Which, fun fact, was actually thanks to Nolan in post. He wanted Batman's voice to sound more fierce. Christian Bale did a lot of training for this role, and even did a lot of his own stunts like trying to ride the Bat-cycle and stand on the ledge of a 100-story building. The city needs me. Returning cast members included Morgan Freeman as Lucius Fox, Gary Oldman as Jim Gordon, the always magnificent Michael Caine as Alfred, and we even got a cameo appearance from Cillian Murphy as Scarecrow. One actress who did not return was Katie Holmes, who was recast with Maggie Gyllenhaal to play Rachel Dawes. And Maggie Gyllenhaal said she treated this character like a brand new character, didn't reference anything from the previous movie, just to give her a fresh take. And we all know how that ended up. A fun fact is that Matt Damon was Christopher Nolan's first choice to play Harvey Dent. But much like missing out on 10% of Avatar, Matt Damon had some scheduling conflicts. But after seeing him in Thank You for Smoking, Nolan chose Aaron Eckhart to be Harvey Dent. Either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Eckhart actually took a lot of inspiration from political figures like one of the Kennedys, and studied the psychological trauma that burn victims suffer in preparation for this role. And at first they were going to go practical with the half face, but it just didn't achieve the look that Nolan was going for, so they opted for CGI instead, and they really wanted it to be as mangled as possible. Now, a lot of actors threw their hat in the ring to portray the Joker, but after seeing his hat in Brokeback Mountain, Nolan couldn't think of anyone else besides Heath Ledger. Nolan stated that Ledger was the only one who understood the psychological aspect of the character. And at the time, everyone hated this casting. At least in my opinion, they just couldn't understand the brilliance of his performance in 10 Things I Hate About You. But man, were they wrong. Heath Ledger actually hid away in a motel room for 6 weeks, where he perfected every single aspect of the Joker. The voice, the laugh, even the walk, and the makeup, which after being approved was just subtly improved upon by the makeup department. And that's why you can always see makeup on his hand. I love that little note. Do you want to know how he got these scars? They're prosthetics. But a fun fact is that they kept getting undone, so Heath would have to keep licking them back into place. So that's why he does this all the time. We all love happy accidents. Batman the Killing Joke and Batman the Long Halloween were both used as inspiration for the story, as well as Heat, which is made apparent in the opening scene, where we even get Heat actor William Fichtner. And if the Joker's mask looks familiar, that's because it's the same one that Cesar Romero wore as the first ever appearance from the Joker in the live-action Batman TV series from the 60s. A couple of fun facts about Heath Ledger's Joker. You might know that he completely improvised this scene where he claps at Jim Gordon's promotion, which is just magnificent. But what you were probably lied and told about was that this was improvised, when in actuality Christopher Nolan debunked this, and the reason he pauses and looks at the device is just to keep Heath Ledger safe from the practical explosion. Practicality is something that Christopher Nolan is known for, and he used a bunch of different techniques like miniatures, but the most famous one was that he actually flipped this fucking truck. Hans Zimmer returned as composer, and fun fact, the way he came up with the Joker's theme was using two notes, D and C, for DC Comics. This man's the GOAT. This was also the first feature film to use IMAX cameras. They were loud as hell, and they actually broke one on set. But look how far we've come. In one of my favorite scenes in comic book movie history, the interrogation scene between the Joker and the Batman, Heath Ledger was so in character that he actually asked Christian Bale to actually smack him as hard as he could, which Bale refused. But Heath was different. For being different, Heath Ledger won Best Supporting Actor at the Oscars the following year, and may he forever rest in peace. The Dark Knight went on to be not only a critical success, but a financial one too. On a budget of around $185 million, raked in $1 billion worldwide in 6 days, and at the time had the largest opening weekend for a film at $158 million. And it's gonna live on forever. I'm a man of my word.